It's May, the sun is out, the rain has finally come, so it's all about the Market Farm garden. It's only a little sharp sting, I know. There are also lots of these slugs. Nobody just wants to buy chard and live off chard. Honestly, I never thought this day would come. It has been a ridiculous spring in terms of frosts and cold, but drought, and I just thought the market garden wasn't get going. But finally, we have had downpours, we've got heat, the soil is warming up, and plants are starting to grow. So we can finally kick this new venture into life. Well, it might be mid-May in the market garden, but as you can see, there's still not a lot out here, and that is because I am realizing that with this site, because it's the first year, there are a lot of pests, and I simply can't put small seedlings in the ground or even direct sow a lot of stuff, because they will just eradicate all of them in literally a couple of nights. So I'm having to grow everything on into much bigger plug plants so they can survive a tack or two from pests and continue to grow. And there's a good example of that here. I put in a full row of kale plants, and you can see that this is kind of all that's left. There's a couple. And when they're this small, it only takes a slug or a snail to come along and take a couple of leaves. As you can see, they have done here. They've actually taken all of these original leaves, and we've got some new growth. But often, taking these leaves will kill the plant. It won't be able to recover and it won't grow again. So we've been lucky. There's a few plants that have been stunted here, and this one here that's coming back, but really they should have been bigger plug plants, like this big, so they could just survive the attacks. The one thing that is growing really well is chard. These are actually plants from last year, but I did sow a load in here, as you can see. The only thing is, really, who wants to eat chard? You know, I like chard now and then, and as a part of a leaf crop in a salad mix, but even the pests don't want to eat it. So nobody just wants to buy chard and live off chard. So it's a bit annoying that that's the only thing that's doing okay, but we will get there. I will say one thing I have found negative, I guess, about the no-dig method is when you're putting the cardboard down, if you leave edges of cardboard like this at the edge of your bed, this is just the perfect place for pests to hide. So if we lift this over, yes, oh look, there's a load of worms. Jock just stung himself on the electric netting. Oh dear, he's going to go and hide in the car now. But there are also lots of these slugs. So I have been going around the edges and lifting them up and just making sure I get rid of all the slugs, because otherwise, look, there's another one there. I did this the other day, and there's another one here. So yeah, that's the one downside. So if you do have this, if you are using this method and you have bits of cardboard sticking out the edge, just make sure you go and check underneath it, because you will find naughty bugs. Are you okay? Oh, Jock. You okay, puppy? It's only a little sharp sting. I know. Oh, you silly boy. When will you learn? When will you learn? He's like, I want to go home now, please. Please, can we go home? I got zapped by the scary netting. So I have more chard and kale to finish these lines. They're just growing at home. I have loads of lettuces, so I think this is going to be 2 beds of lettuces. And then this bed is going to be some squash, I think. Yeah, some squash and some spinach. And then I have started beds here. So about 1/3 of this bed has got beets in, and about 1/3 of this bed has got carrot. No, I said that wrong. Carrots are here. 1/3 of this bed has got carrots. 1/3 of this bed has got beets. The reason I haven't sown the whole bed is because I want to successionally plant it a little bit. You know, we haven't built a customer base yet, so I don't want to sow an entire bed of carrots and have like 1,500 carrots ready to sell and only have a few customers. So I'm going to spread the bed. I'm going to sow the bed in thirds, so we've got kind of a bit of ongoing stuff. So if we can't get rid of everything initially, we know we've got more coming. Now at home I have loads of tomatoes, aubergines, peppers, and I've just started sowing the cucumbers. And the polytunnel is going to go up there. I have to say the generosity of some people in life is incredible. And so we have got a commercial polytunnel coming. Very excited, should be here towards the end of the month. So that's going to go up there. So that will be where we can plant all of those crops that just want a bit more heat. And then here we have the flower crops again, which looks rather bare. So you might not be able to see a lot, but we have sweet peas along here. We have our really bad ranunculus crop along here, which I've talked about before, but they are just starting to flower. So they are looking quite pretty. And, you know, it's not a massive loss. I've learned loads of stuff about growing ranunculus. We'll get some flowers that I might be able to just sell a couple of posies or just give them away to people, and also have some at home. Also, I can take loads and loads of pictures which I can use for advertising for next year. So it's not all a bad thing. Then we did start to put in some cornflowers. The slugs got almost all of them, hence why I need to grow these things on at home. There are a few, but they just look terrible. So again, that's another lesson learned. And then here are our straw flowers. Now in the video the other day I talked about putting the diatomaceous earth down, and it does seem to work for woodlice. However, it does not seemingly work for little critters that like to chew stems. So what I've done instead is I just got some toilet rolls and I pop them over, so it basically protects the stem down here, and it won't impede growth. As you can see, they're still growing and they'll grow out the top, but that has worked. I haven't lost any plants since I started doing this. And then again, I have a ton more flower stuff in pots across my front lawn and in my grow rooms. So I have tons of snapdragons, and I've just started gomphrena and zinnia, and I've got more cornflower and I've got more straw flower. So they will, on the whole, be going in here, and I'll be extending this bed all the way across this way. If you saw the video the other day, by the way, about the goats coming into the market garden, I have been turning the electricity on, and they haven't. They come in. They have respected it. So it's on, and they are just grazing over there with Jock, who's very excited and trying to herd. I think Jock is actually going to be a really, really good sheepdog. His herding instinct is brilliant. However, at the moment, he doesn't know what I want him to do. So generally, I'm trying to move them somewhere, and he will run in front because he's trying to keep them with me, which for goats is okay because they kind of just headbutt him and go on anyway, but sheep will just scatter. They won't like that. So we need to teach him the commands, so away and down and things like that, so we can actually use him properly. But I think he's going to be a really good sheepdog in the making. But as I say, I need to put some effort and energy into doing some training with him.